Good morning, everyone. Today, I hope everyone of you, I never asked this, are you okay? Is everything good? I hope you have a really good start into the day whenever you are watching this. Or maybe your day is already over, then I hope you had a great day and start a relaxed evening. Which is actually a good segue into what I wanted to talk about today, which, sorry, I'm making noise here with this kind of thing by leaning against this lamp. I don't know. I thought let's do it like this. So in order not to lean, let's cross the arms a little bit. I want to talk about valuing your time. So in the last few days, I had either be it private in my private life or in my work life this occurrences of people kind of occupying might be the right word, but rather like taking advantage of my time and kind of utilize or thinking, or better, not thinking about their impact in my on my life by kind of just using my time willy-nilly, or assuming that, oh yeah, he has the time, let's give him a bunch of work and he will kind of figure it out. And especially as a freelancer, where you are getting paid by time and you kind of need people to either schedule time or pay accordingly for your time. And sometimes it is that people can say, okay, we book you for this amount of time, and then suddenly say something along the lines, oh, can we kind of shift that schedule? And instead of starting at 8, for example, let's say that, or better, let's start at 10. Okay, we booked you from 10 to whatever, 2 p.m. Can we do or start at 11 or at 12 and then kind of shift that time? Not realizing that, yes, you book me only for 4 hours, but since you now on short notice kind of shift the time frame, you actually occupy 6 hours of my time without any hesitations or consideration of my time. And the same thing sometimes happens also with family or friends, especially with people who have children. And I'm not blaming anyone who has children. I totally understand that having children means you need to be a little bit flexible. For example, this is years ago where I kind of made a date with a buddy of mine to kind of meet up for dinner and then go to the movies. And what happened was that he came 45 minutes late because his kid didn't want to go to bed, which I think is understandable. That is totally fine of an excuse. But it also meant that you basically took away 45 minutes A of my life, and B, we weren't able to do what we had planned. And again, I totally understand that life comes in between, but what I want to talk about is this kind of occupying time of other people without any consideration is, for me personally, sometimes a little bit frustrating. And I actually gotten to a point yesterday where I kind of said something along the lines, hey, I understand the pressure that you are all on, but it's not fair to me or the rest of the team to kind of switch around timings and then say something along the line, oh, let's do another hour, although you didn't book me, didn't book me for that, and B, as far as I understand, you are not willing to pay. So I need to kind of put my foot down here and say, hey, you booked me for that and you are only willing to pay me for that. So I'm going to rush this now. And we finish this now in time because I gave you a lot of leeway the last 3 days. So yeah, or with my buddy, I said, like, I totally understand that, but 45 minutes is really not okay. Um, Instead, you maybe should have said something that you cancel or that you need to cancel, because then I wouldn't have waited 45 minutes here at the restaurant. Instead, I could have ordered my lunch. I'm totally okay with eating alone, and then went home instead of waiting 45 minutes, you know? Um, so, long story short, I think it is really important to kind of be protective of your own time and value it. And I don't mean that you need to be kind of dick about it with other people. I think some flexibility, especially with friends and family, is needed sometimes. I always say that the older we get, we have responsibilities, family life, and again, children. I totally get that. But I think it is really important to be mindful of other people's time, but also of yourself. For example, what I always do is when I schedule something, and I think this is also something that I mentioned a couple of videos ago, where I like to be at an airport a couple of hours earlier, just because I don't like to rush. And it's the same thing when I schedule something with a friend. When I make a date and I know, okay, I need to work, or I have some commute to get to wherever we want to meet up, I always kind of add a couple of minutes, even half an hour. If I know that I need to be somewhere, I always calculate half an hour early. Or maybe you've seen my vlogs last week, where I was sitting in the car in front of the office. I rather am at the office a little bit earlier, especially if the weather conditions aren't great, instead of having to rush or explain to my clients why I'm a half an hour late. I rather am early, sit in front of the office, wait, do these vlogs, and then go relax into the office. And the same holds true when I'm making an appointment or a date with friends or clients. I rather calculate a little bit more time into it than making other people wait. And I just know that my buddy who came late, honestly, I think he could have kind of prepared for that, because he knew that his kids in that week were a little bit all over the place. I would have been totally okay if he called me maybe a couple of hours earlier. Better would be a day earlier, and said, "Hey, I'm having trouble getting my kids to sleep. Maybe let's cancel dinner and just meet up in front of the cinema and go to the movies." Um, that way, I could have planned accordingly, and that I felt would have felt much more respected, and it would have been much more mindful uh, with my time. And I'm missing that sometimes with people who, especially with me, and I think it is also one of my character traits. I'm a very um, understanding person, so I always like, I'm not making a big scene. I don't like making a big scene. I always try to see it from the other person. And I'm never saying something, hey, you stupid, why did you let I'm not making a scene. That's what I'm trying to say. So people are I mean, if you would want to be really harsh about it, maybe some people consider me a pushover in that regard. But especially in the professional sector, I'm not making a scene about that. I'm trying, especially yesterday, I'm trying to say it in a very respectful way and try to present my points in a rational way why this I'm kind of putting my foot down. But it's the same thing with friends. And I think that sometimes gives people the impression, oh, Bo will be understandable, and so let's kind of take advantage of that. Maybe not consciously. Most of, especially with friends, I think it's rather subconsciously, but that also means that, and this is the point of this video, where you need, or I also need to learn a little bit more to be firm in protecting my time. And for example, also someone asked me, "Hey, can you do something for me on the weekend?" And I'm saying like, no, I've been working the whole week. I'm working next week. Um, I've haven't any quality time with my wife, so that is my priority. So I'm not kind of um wanting to, in air quotes, waste time or make time for you, you know? So long story short, it is very, or maybe this is also about saying no. Protecting your own time and your own energy is also about saying no. And that's probably my one of my weakest links. Saying no is sometimes difficult for me, but if you kind of consider your time and think about, okay, do I actually have time for that? I guess then it's a little bit easier to say no. So long story short, again, I'm repeating myself now. I'm rambling. Try to protect your time. I need to do this a little bit more. I think I gotten better over the last years, but I still think I need to do this a little bit more consciously. Um, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't know how to end this video. What are your thoughts about this? Are you having difficulties to protect your time? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you have difficulties saying no to some things? Also, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to rant because someone is always stealing your time, also feel free to vent in the comment section below. All right. If you want to see yesterday's video, check it up here. YouTube thinks that you liked the video down here, and maybe help me to make this channel a little bit bigger by subscribing, by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other tomorrow. Thank you very much.